Hey, what's going on, guys? In today's 2-minute devotion, we are going to talk about reality and having proper perspective and the correlation between the two. Sometimes what we see isn't all that there is to be seen. And so we're going to deal with that today. As always, we're going to dive into scripture because that is where we get our answers from. And what we're going to be reading from is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 6, specifically verses 15 through 17. And it says this: "And when the servant of the man of God was risen early and got up and went outside, he noticed that a host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Master, what are we going to do? And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them." Verse 17 says, "And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray that you would open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha," or surrounding those two. So in this story, there was a king who was upset that these people managed to avoid trouble. And so he called, his servants forth. This is a quick backstory. And he said, who keeps telling these dudes what's going on? Like, when we try to set the trap for them, they keep avoiding it. Like, who's telling them? And they're like, no, none of us are telling them, but they got a prophet over there and he tells them everything. The Lord is telling them what you're plotting against them, and they're avoiding it. And so he says, you know what, man, send an army, send my military over there, surround them and bring them, so you can bring them to me. And so this, the prophet and his assistant, or his junior prophet, were in this tent, and the junior prophet wakes up and he goes outside and he sees this army, surrounding them. And he goes in and he's panicking. Master, what are we going to do? There's an army surrounding us. What are we going to do? And his master says, oh, don't worry about it. There's more for us than there are that are with them. That is more for us than against us. And, junior prophet's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, hey, Lord, open his eyes so he can see what's going on. And the Lord opened his eyes and he sees that they have their own army surrounding that army, with their army with chariots of fire and, different things like that, and swords. So the point of that whole story, and I think what we can glean from that, is that sometimes we look at our circumstances and we look at our situations and we're just looking at it. But we forget sometimes that we are people of faith. The Bible defines faith as the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen, at least with the human eye. And so when we remind ourselves that we are people of faith, we have to keep in mind that regardless of what we see in the natural, regardless of what we see in front of us, regardless of how bad our circumstances and situations look, that is not the end of the story, because there is always something that we can't see working for our good behind everything that we do see, no matter how bad it is. And so I am your reminder today that though it looks like your circumstance, that situation may never change, may never turn around for the better. You've been praying about it. You've been hoping for the best for a long time, and it doesn't seem like it's changed. I am your reminder that there is more for you than there are against you, and that all what you see is not all that there is to see. There is other stuff, and I'm praying that the Lord opens your eyes to the good that he's bringing to you. I hope you guys have a great day today.